All right, put your hands together for Derek Freeman. Thank you guys, some good music. Yeah. All right.
But tell us who you are.
I'm Johnny. I'm at NOCA as a student for an actor. I'm an actor. Yeah. Thank you.
Excuse me, 1 second. He's not just Johnny. So, one of the things that when Russell passed that I said that I'm going to do even more, but not too many people knew that I was the first person to take artists like Christian Scott. Whoever heard of Christian Scott?
Yeah.
I didn't even know he could play an instrument until Donald Harrison said, just bring my cousin. I took him to South Africa. We also took Trombone Shorty and my cousin Jonathan Batiste to South Africa. They were, doing something called the Orleans Avenue. But the difference with me and Russell, so I'm 55 right now. When I was 5 years old, my dad had me and Russell. We were traveling with the top R&B superstars, Al Green, the Dells, the Shy-Lights. But we were 5 and 7 years old as, little kids dealing with artists that was pretty much the pinnacle of black music. So it's easy for us to spot great talent. This gentleman here, he might be the next Lou Gossett Jr., he has a phenomenal voice. He's studying. So we want him to get familiar with a crowd because we think New Orleans is the best place on the planet to nurture creative arts and talent. It really is. Some of the talent that you're going to see on the stage, they're going to be the next, George Porter, the next Cyril Neville, or the next David Batiste and the Gladiators. So you might see him right now doing this, but you might see him tomorrow where we can't afford him anymore, because they're too expensive. So that is happening as well. So he's not just Johnny, he might be the next superstar actor coming out of New Orleans. Johnny, thank you. But hold on, this is my father, 76 years old, and he celebrated, he's also, him and I are Obama administration's Lifetime Achievement Award winners because we started a charter school district to do the very same thing that I'm saying. And Russell really didn't want to do anything but play at the Maple Leaf, the Levantine, and the clubs because he had already traveled really young, So he said, go ahead, man.
So when my son David said that all of that is true and factual, the reason Russell was doing that because all of these great tours from with Vita Blue and Page and the Meters and the Funky Meters, Running Partners and Papa Rose Funk and all these other great bands, he was doing to help writing music for them and everything, but he wanted to touch the people with Russell Batiste music, so it was Russell Batiste and Friends. So he looked forward to at some point going back out and doing those big concerts and those big Vita Blue and the big Meters concerts and hitting the big stadiums and the big theaters and with his own original music. This time it would be him and the wonderful musicians walking and working with him. And such as my nephew John had. He had the great musicians surrounding him with his great artistry. So that's one of the things my son loved about music and young people like this guy. Because he knows they're not about the front, they're not about the, the vain self, they're actually about the art of music. And art of music through entertaining people is what Russell did. He created a whole genre. He was a writer, a producer. As John said, he was like Prince. I say he was like Quincy Jones. Him and Damon, they were called, the two of them. At 5 and 7, I named them Young, Gifted, and Black. Some of you baby boomers, and some of y'all can remember when that was a theme. And that was their theme, Young, Gifted, and Black. Because to my own eyes as a father, Damon and Russell was absolutely above their age. So when I put them on stage, as Damon said, now, and I have to thank my brothers, the Batiste brothers, Paul, Michael, Peter, and the one who in Russell's hand, Stanley Rackler, and helped with Kungas for Damon. When I put them on stage, boy, we had, I ain't gonna call them no superstars names because they think they're managers, but they would come run to, and I have to thank some of the local producers, Eddie Freeway, Rufus, Larry McKinley, some of the other guys, Hank Span, some of the guys helped put us in front of these big theaters and these big concerts, in front of these people. So we just didn't walk up, we had people that thought we were good enough to be with Al Green, to be Jackie Wilson's band director, to be Percy Sledge's band director, to make music for Ann Peebles, to be with Benny King, to be with William Bell, to be with Peggy Scott, JoJo Benson. These producers, these booking agents start, David Batiste and the Gladiators, all the Batiste brothers, however you want to form it, were good enough with Stanley Ratcliffe kicking that funk to be out with these major stars. So I love what my son is doing. I know my son in heaven is smiling on all of these wonderful musicians. So I like to thank y'all. Give yourself a nice round of applause. Thank you.
Johnny, do you have any material, any movies or anything, projects that you're working on?
Yeah, actually, I just recorded 2 monologues for Young Arts today. I don't know if y'all heard of that. And I'm very excited for my future at Noka. They're helping me so much. Oh my gosh. Definitely check out Noka for anybody. If you have any children that are into any of the arts that they offer, definitely check it out. It's great. And you're going to be seeing much more of me in the future. Thank you.
So the last thing before we get to the next, do we have any really good creative journalists, people that writers? So I'm gonna give you all an email address. It's nosacon@gmail.com. If you have anything that you would like to, share with us, any comments, good, bad, anything that we could do to help. New Orleans is really, the most African city in the United States, but most people, haven't been, Africa is really not promoted, but it has a whole different genre of music. New Orleans has its own genre of music, but if you don't get outside of Louisiana, then you may not know other things that's going on, and sometimes you have to invest in your own self first before somebody else can invest in you. I knew that when I put the company together that I was going to lose at least for the first 10 years. So I was prepared to lose. I didn't have a wife, didn't have kids, couldn't do that right now. But when I got into it at first, I was prepared to lose. But these are the type of children that we need to invest in. No matter what type of background they come from, because New Orleans is really on top of the charts when it comes to the cultural arts. But the artists sometimes don't see it because they don't have health care, they don't have, the proper things that they're growing up with wealth. But they're growing up with wealth with the skills. So we're trying to change that. That's why we didn't charge anybody to come in here today. You're coming in your own free will, and I decided not to charge anything. I wanted you to see what we're doing, and if you want to help us, you can go to our website and donate to my brother's funeral fund so that we could bury him. We put up the first $15,000, and we're raising $10,000 for the final cost. So if anyone wants to add to that, you can go to Nosacon, that's NOSACONN.com. Even if you donate $1, that would even help because it shows that you appreciate us. And in the code, type RUSS. So you know exactly where it's going, and it's tax deductible if you want a tax deductible letter. So thank you very much. We're going to get on with the next act. And there's 3 drum kits, so if Joe Dyson has to take the flight, we do have an open kit for you, Mr. Dyson. I'll get you on with the next act. So let's give it up for the next act, which is who? Mr. Derek Freeman, the Smoker Man. I know Russell loved him.